These are the strongest handstand push-ups that I have ever seen, and witnessing this in person was absolutely unbelievable. I'm thinking surely he's going to fail. There's no way. There's so much fatigue and the strength demand is so high, and him just grinding through, grind, and completing the rep was breathtaking to watch. I was just so impressed.
That was insane. The time under tension, under exertion was just insane. He was moving a centimeter at a time, came back down, didn't say, no, I'm not going to stop this set. I'm William Su. I don't stop. I just keep going. I like depth.
And was just really motivating, guys, just seeing the potential of what we can achieve if we're dedicated, if we're consistent, if we have a goal and we put our heart and soul into it. This video will share valuable lessons to help you level up with your bodyweight training and achieve these advanced levels of strength yourself. Now let's contrast this with Danny failing his handstand push-ups. Video guy Jordan, just throw in some of the montage here of me trying, failing, and failing again. And we're noticing a few common errors here. The main mistake I was making was going too slowly. And this is the dilemma of handstand push-ups. By going down at this controlled pace, I was in control of the movement, but I was getting so fatigued that I didn't have the strength to push back up.
It's not meant to be, boys. It's just a bit too much ROM for me. I just need to will myself into the movement.
You just need some willpower.
Yeah. We'll see if I can unlock one rep of this.
You can do it.
Come on, vamos.
What was the magic technique, the mindset that I used to unlock this next level handstand push-up? Nothing. You see, the body self-organizes. It's really smart. So if you just trust your body to find its strongest position, it will. I think we can overcomplicate our technique with what should my scaps be doing and my posture and this and that. Your body knows where it is going to be strongest, and I definitely just applied that logic here. So instead of over-analyzing what I should be doing, I just switched on that monkey mind and just simply gripped those bars as hard as I could. I used a fast tempo that I could control, and then I pushed like my life depended on it to get through that sticking point and successfully complete that handstand push-up. Yes. I did it, man. I'm going to pass out, but I did it.
No, you've done it. You have to go deeper.
It wasn't pretty. This wasn't a textbook handstand push-up with a hollow body posture like Cy Monster just going perfectly. Nah, this was just a personal challenge to myself. Can I complete it? Can I go deeper than I've ever gone before? You better believe it. It wasn't pretty, but it was done. Ideally, you want to keep 1 to 2 reps in reserve. You do not want to be training to failure and going all out. Do as I say, not as I do, because I was G'd up here, boys. I was here in Bali with Will collabing and I just got too excited. I wanted to test my absolute maximum. Obviously, this isn't what we do in regular training, and I could say the same for Will as well, because these reps he was doing here was definitely maximum. I will say that there was no training short of failure on this day. What fascinates me about the human body is how strength is specific. Case in point, I practice handstand push-ups all the time with my hands flat, whether it be on the floor or if I elevate them on boxes to do a deficit. I always prefer a flat hand technique. I believe this is because I can use a wider hand placement and I can flare my elbows out a little bit more. Plus, with the hands gripping like this, I have a little bit more control because there's a larger surface area for me to maintain balance as well as stability. Will, on the other hand, is an absolute beast at handstand push-ups. He is so strong. He is pound for pound strength off the charts. He's military press with a barbell, body weight, and beyond. So you know he's an absolute savage. But strength specificity, it takes no prisoners. He always practices his handstand push-ups on parallettes, so that's what he gets good at. With this, it's different because you've got a neutral grip and you can't flare the elbows out as much. So it's a completely different exercise with completely different technique and balance demands. The true challenge with handstand push-ups isn't just the strength, it's not just the balance, it's the combination of both. Because of this high neurological demand, there's a really steep learning curve because it's the skill of combining both strength as well as balance into one movement. It is a real journey towards getting this exercise mastered because you've got bad balance days, fatigue is a real factor, progress is non-linear. When your body feels fresh, your handstand push-ups might feel trash. When your body feels tired, your handstand push-ups might feel great. There's no rhyme or reason as to any type of consistency of linear progress. You got to get that out of your mind, because if you think that you'll predictably and linearly get better at handstand push-ups, you're setting yourself up for disappointment, because you really do have to keep showing up even when you feel good, even when you feel bad, because you need that repetition and that exposure. It's not like jumping on a machine where you can just push yourself really hard and you'll have success. With handstand push-ups, there's a lot going on, not just physically, but also it requires such ruthless consistency to improve. When you're doing a floor handstand push-up or a floor pike push-up, the range of motion is quite limited. You're only bringing your hands down to roughly head height. So this would be the equivalent of doing overhead press with weights, and you're just stopping at this range of motion here. When you progress to parallel handstand push-up exercises, you're increasing the range of motion. So now you're pressing more so towards the chest. This would be the equivalent of doing a overhead press where you're bringing the barbell down to your clavicles, that full range of motion. Where things get very interesting is when you do deficit handstand push-ups at an extreme level of elevation. This one, you're combining a handstand push-up as well as a full range of motion pelican curl. And then you're combining those two and doing this absolutely full ROM handstand push-up amalgamation. By increasing range of motion, the deficit handstand push-up creates the worst possible leverages at your shoulders. As you lower your head below your hands, the moment arm, the distance from your shoulder joint to the line of force through your hands, grows longer. So the same body weight generates far more rotational torque. As you're lowering through that handstand push-up into deeper shoulder extension, going lower and lower, the muscles are at their weakest length, where the torque is at its peak. Every extra centimeter of depth lower in your handstand push-up makes the movement exponentially more difficult. This is why progressing your handstand push-up is such a slow, patient journey. To give you guys some hope, Will has been training the handstand push-up for 2 years consistently to be able to get to this stage. 2 years, no missed workouts, every single week, multiple times per week, not program hopping, not exercise hopping, because we'll see the end result of some extreme level of strength like this. And it's easy for us as humans to default to, maybe they were genetically gifted, maybe it came quick to them, because it comes so hard to us. And that is not true. The people that are making these really big gains in strength have been doing so for a long, long time. Myself as an example, I've been doing handstand push-ups since I was 17, and it just goes to show that going from a pike push-up to a wall handstand push-up to a freestanding handstand push-up, this takes so much time. And then once you reach that, which is an achievement in and of itself, going to a deficit handstand push-up, it's like a whole different world. It takes so long to get that increased range of motion, the control in that, and that makes this fun, because if it came easy, then the journey towards unlocking these movements, it wouldn't have the same level of meaning. That's what makes it so impressive, because it's not given for free. It has to be earned. Let's talk about programming for handstand push-ups. If this is your main goal, put the exercise first in your workout when you're most physically and mentally fresh. Doing skills at the start of a session is always best practice when it comes to calisthenics. 1 times per week frequency, it's not enough, especially when it comes to technical, skill-related exercises. It's just not enough practice. A frequency of 2 per week would be my recommendation. This is the absolute sweet spot for work relative to rest. You can do a ton in one session and have that 48 to 72 hours between workouts to hit it again and progress. I find that if you're doing 4, 5, 6 handstand push-up workouts a week, it gets really difficult to manage your recovery, and burning out, overtraining is a lot more likely. We're not all about testing our strength. We really want to build it as well. That's why we threw in some accessory work with weighted dips to build up our body. These shaky dip bars though, I mean, that's one of my biggest pet peeves when I'm training dips at a gym. If it's not anchored in nicely, you feel really unstable and you can't generate as much force. You're not as strong. And I know that you guys watching would absolutely despise this as well. It's annoying because on the outside, it looks like you're weaker than you are. Oh yeah, look at old bro over here. He's shaking all around on his dips. But little they know, if I have a stable dip setup, I can do way more, I promise. Why are we doing dips? Well, it feeds into the handstand push-up. It strengthens the same prime mover muscles, chest, anterior delts predominantly. We're also strengthening the same movement pattern. In deficit handstand push-ups, we need a ton of shoulder extension. With dips, what are we training? Shoulder extension. The true value of the dip is it raises your pushing ceiling. Basically, you've got a greater force reserve. So when your max strength goes up in dips, so you can dip heavier, your handstand push-up sets, they use a smaller percentage of your strength. So this means you can maintain more strict form under fatigue when doing handstand push-ups. The stronger your weighted dip, the easier balancing a handstand push-up becomes. This is because now, all of your upper body resources aren't being directed to technique and stability like it is in a beginner who doesn't have a strong dip. If you get comfortable pushing through heavy dips when the rep speed slows down amidst fatigue, then when you go to do your handstand push-ups, when you eventually feel that feeling too, you're not going to be as apprehensive. You've been there before. You've trained your heavy dips. When you're doing these handstand push-ups, it's just the same thing. Makes your body weight feel easier. Keeping it really simple. Did 3 sets of 5, and using 60 kilos here was plenty, as you can see from the level of exertion, rep speed, and challenge for myself as well as Will. Just keeping it safe, something that can really help to assist the body without just going absolute beast mode. And that's what I recommend for you too. There's no rest days here at Fitness FAQs. We've got content for days to keep you learning, getting smarter and stronger. Click here.